Hey everybody, it's John and welcome back to the Pixel Expedition. Today we're looking at 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 story, developed and published by Adam and 𝘆cie at 𝘆𝑥𝗂𝗃𝗍 and set to release April 30th on the PC. Adam was gracious enough to grant me a Steam key to play the game and review it on my channel, so let's dive right in. So 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 is a proud Zelda-like action-adventure game where you explore a vast and whimsical world, confronting puzzles and dangers in whichever order you choose, using nothing but a magical shield. You play as a nameless hero who washes ashore a mysterious island after their boat capsized by lightning at the will of a large tower looming over the island. In the storm, monsters begin to emerge in multiple forms, threatening the lives of these adorable native bird-like creatures, and without any verbal language, they guide the hero to a sanctuary nearby to retrieve this magical 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄, the Icelandic word for shield. I found this to be a clever reversal of the iconic magical sword of the Zelda series. But this shield is everything. Besides being able to slash enemies with it, its magical powers allow you to block and absorb the abilities from enemy projectiles. Not only do these abilities help with defeating the monsters themselves, but they are often needed to overcome puzzles in the game. Despite the aesthetics and tonality of the gameplay, there are a few things that set 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 story apart from its familiar Zelda-like identity. Firstly, the game is non-linear, allowing you to travel in whichever direction you choose. There are 4 dungeons that can be found, opened, and conquered in any order using these power stones that are strewn about the island. The only caveat is that these dungeons must be completed before unlocking the final tower that bound your fate to this island. That said, in Zelda-like fashion, you can find maps that give you portions of the world map to navigate in that classic grid-like style. A nice touch is being able to easily warp between discovered points of interest, like shops and dungeons indicated by blinking icons on the map, or unlocking these warp pads to discover new areas. You can even find mounts like this goat to ride to get you through some tough spots in the world. Also, you may have noticed that even playing in HD, the game is displayed in that retro 4:3 ratio, which adds to the overall nostalgia. There is also no dialogue in the game. All objectives, puzzles, and shops are communicated visually, making 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 story a very accessible game. Secondly, 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 story is packed with clever little puzzles to solve as you journey across the overworld and through the dungeons. I found that a combination of my curiosity of which direction to wander and my tenacity for solving puzzles determined where I wound up. And there is absolutely no handholding. You are left to experiment in every situation. Sometimes it's as simple as hitting or stepping on switches to reveal new paths, or figuring out how to navigate around obstacles that are blocking your way. Other times, it's more perplexing, like trying to locate the correct ability to release a corresponding magical switch. Some puzzles, however, are a little excessive, especially those involving visual tracking. In the case of this shell game involving barrels, the difficulty ramps up quickly, and with so many barrels to track and moving so fast, it becomes a blur to locate the key to unlock the next room. Guessing the wrong barrels often comes with a harsh consequence of revealing exploding bombs that are impossible to dodge and cost me more lives than I care to admit. Still, there is so much variety in the puzzles that the game surprises you at every turn, like the rolling and portal hopping around on birds to chasing down crabs in a game of hide and seek. They'll challenge you, but they're pretty fun. Thirdly, the combat in 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 story is uniquely counterintuitive. The shield can be used as a melee weapon when applicable, but you'll often need to place yourself in the path of harm's way to block and absorb the abilities from enemy projectiles needed to overcome certain enemies and puzzles. The controls of the game are quite simple: move, attack, and shoot. However, mastering the combination of these in the heat of combat is harder than it looks and sometimes more frustrating than challenging. When multiple projectiles are being thrown at you, it's tough to negotiate which direction to face that won't leave you vulnerable. Also, because your shield lowers during movement, just getting into position will again leave you vulnerable. This is especially the case when using abilities like the boomerang that requires you to move to be effective. In tight spaces, it's almost impossible not to get hit no matter how good your reflexes are, and this can feel a little clumsy. In this boss, I needed to get the boomerang ability to activate the switches on the left, and you can see how much I struggled just to get it, and it doesn't get any easier from there. I would have much preferred if the shield were always up and ready to block. Sometimes where possible, it's just easier to run through and avoid combat altogether. That said, the combat can be lively, and despite any frustrations, I admire the risk taken for trying something a little different. Thankfully, 𝘆cie_'𝗿𝗄 story has 2 difficulty modes, normal and easy. Assuming normal to be the intended experience for the player, I rolled with it only to find that I was at a constant disadvantage, often dying in busy, unavoidable combat situations. Starting with 4 hearts, you lose 1 heart for every bit of damage you take. There are, however, shops where you can purchase additional heart containers, so take the time to grind and hack the grass for the money needed to upgrade, because you'll need it. Easy mode only gives you 3 hearts to start, but now you only lose half a heart with each bit of damage taken, making your health meter last a little longer. Fortunately, in both modes, red potions will often drop from enemies and cutting the grass, so it's not hopeless. Another essential upgrade are these boots that give you a movement boost, making travel a little faster and easier to dodge enemies and projectiles. So 𝘆cia_JOLDUR STORY is a lighthearted gaming experience that can be played at your own pace. It offers the excitement of perilous combat alongside a variety of challenging and playful puzzles to solve, all coming together for a well-rounded experience that just might scratch your Zelda-like itch. Between the modest and vibrant pixel art world and the delightful and catchy musical arrangements, there is no question that 𝘆cia_JOLDUR STORY is a labor of love and passion filled with what made retro games of its kind a remarkable gaming experience and one that I recommend checking out. But that will do for this episode, so thank you so much for watching. Please consider supporting indie games like 𝘆cia_JOLDUR STORY by heading over to the Steam page and wishlisting it right now. Also consider supporting me by leaving a like on this video and subscribing to the channel if you're new. And until next time on the Pixel Expedition, take care and stay safe.